In this video, we'll be discussing to you guys about a slight risk with a substantial chance of tornadoes. There's a 5% chance of tornadoes for the Gulf Coast region. And then we're talking to you guys about the climate prediction and not about the heat, which will be in our video, but for the West Coast, where it's below average with increased precipitation, with our first official chance of the rainy season to see some atmospheric river with some heavy rain and snow. Welcome, everybody. My name is Shuman, and sorry for not uploading a video yesterday. I had some technical audio issues, and I think I figured it out. This video will be going live at 12 o'clock, just before the main event is supposed to start around 1 o'clock, the 12 o'clock time frame. While we're talking to you guys about the severe weather risk, there's a slight risk from pretty much from Baton Rouge, just south of Jackson, all the way to the Florida Panhandle. And the slight risk includes New Orleans, Mobile, Meridian, also includes Slidell and Gulfport. And then in the marginal risk, Baton Rouge, which is where the storms will develop, make its way as far north as Jackson, Mississippi, and as far east into the Texas Panhandle with Pensacola, Florida. So we take a look at the tornado risk. There's currently a 5% risk. Pretty much in the slight risk, where the slight risk is, that's pretty much where it is. Places like Mobile, Gulfport, Mississippi, New Orleans, Slidell, Louisiana, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, those regions will be in a chance to see some tornadoes. And then there's a 2% risk in the Jackson, Mississippi, all the way to Pensacola and Baton Rouge. So here looking at NAM 3 kilometer, and this is a 12Z, the most up-to-date radar, and we'll see how it is going to forecast the play. And if you're living in the Gulf Coast today, please be weather prepared. You don't get this too often, and it's a substantial chance of some severe weather. So let's take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer. This is the NAM 3 kilometer, and this is when it's forecast to be this morning. And then here it is supposed to be 1 o'clock, which is when the video might go live, just be posted. All this is the severe weather risk. This looks like mostly damaging winds, but if you can get some storms to rotate out ahead of it, like over here, Pontchartrain, you might get some tornadoes, but it looks like mostly damaging wind, some heavy rain. But any of these individual cells could definitely rotate because there's a lot of shear, a lot of instability. Moisture's high, but look at that. It looks like some heavy rainfall continues to be from Mobile and also Pensacola by morning tomorrow. But not only that, if you take a look at this, you're expecting some heavy rainfall for parts of Arkansas, most of Mississippi, southern Illinois, western Kentucky. All that will be beneficial because that's going to be helping. Even as far north as Peoria, that will help the rivers, because if you know about the river system recently, the Mississippi River is pretty dry, so any of these rains will benefit them. So let's see how much precip you're expecting really quickly. And as you can see here, there's a substantial risk of at least 1 to 2 inches of rain all the way from southern Indiana, southern Illinois, includes Missouri, much of Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana, all the way down to the Gulf Coast. So we'll take a look real quick at another radar, which will be the high resolution. This one's more accurate because I was trying to record a video yesterday and it was showing the very similar thing, that the cold front was moving a little bit faster than the NAM. So let's see what these guys say. So these guys are showing you just offshore, right here. I'll show you what time zone this is. This is currently 2 p.m. This is what it's forecasted to be at 2 p.m. Most of it's forecast to be offshore, which will be beneficial because all these could rotate and produce tornadoes, but they'll become water spouts. I think the best chance of tornadoes will be southern Mississippi and eastern Louisiana, like around Slidell. But this looks like mostly just a line of storms, but you could see some tornadoes. We don't know. If anything, it will be like right about here, and then it breaks up, and then becomes individualized, which is again pretty dangerous to see. This is currently just 6 p.m. Southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, also near Mobile. It will just be showing you guys a lot of rainfall. We'll zoom out just so you guys can see the timing real quick, but you can see some heavy rainfall coming into Missouri and Arkansas, western Kentucky, even southern Illinois, Indiana, as far north as Iowa and Illinois might get some rain. before it lingers. Looks like it might linger around for your Halloween before it moves its way east. We don't know about that, but hopefully that doesn't happen because it'll impact parts of Chicago and much of Illinois. But here's the rainfall. A lot more east, a lot more weaker, but still 1 to 2 inches, 2 to 3 around the Mississippi River Valley because they're getting a lot of rainfall because low pressure system is going to be moving very slowly north and east. And there's a lot of rainfall associated with the low cold front and the warm front. But the severe weather will be down here. If you're getting any of the severe weather risk, it'll be there. Mostly, I think it will be damaging wind, but can't rule out for an isolated tornado that could develop, especially in southern Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Alright, so now we'll be talking to you guys about the Climate Prediction Center. So this is the Climate Prediction Center 8-4 day outlook. As it means is you expect some cold weather up north and south with above precipitation. But I think this is also currently going on because we're expecting a couple rounds of storms. But the difference is between the models is where will the atmospheric river, because some of them are hinting that we might get from northwest, some of them are hinting we will get some beneficial rainfall for California. So we just gotta wait and see, and let's show you guys what Tropical Tidbits is saying for this forecast. So we're taking a look at the west. Let's go. Alright, so we're here looking at we're gonna look at the GFS real quickly, and then we'll look at the Canadian model and see what the GFS is showing you guys. GFS is a little bit more aggressive with the rainfall and snowfall, and it's more south. But both, a lot of models saying that we're about to get we're getting a first storm system to impact northwest this weekend. And a lot of models saying that it will impact California. GFS is not a fan of it. I'm surprised. It looks like it's just gonna weaken and become more of a snow event for the Rockies, the Tetons. Some heavy snow for Salt Lake City, much of Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, even the Cascades gonna get in some heavy snow, even a potential snowstorm for Montana and North Dakota. Even look at that, even some snowfall for Denver, which will be beneficial for them too. And then here comes the second wave, which could become our first official snowstorm, but with this track, there might be some severe weather out ahead of it for parts of the Midwest as well as it moves its way there. But look at the second wave of storms. This could develop into our first major snowstorm of the season. Some models are hinting last night, and tonight they're still hinting of some snow, but it's a lot more active. So even though it's a little different from last night, but it's looking like active weather for the west coast, which is really good because this is the rainy season. Atmosphere events are forecasted, so let's look at how much precipitation is expecting. Look at that. It's beneficial rainfall. 3 to 5 is pretty much certain for Oregon, for Northern California, all the way up the coast for Washington, Oregon. You might get an inch or two near San Francisco. These are all going to be snow, but look at that widespread half an inch to an inch of water equivalent, which is really good for the mountains because that will help you guys for the wet season and limit the wildfires. But hopefully you guys continue to get some more rainfall and snowfall. For snowfall, this is more realistic. I think 3 to 5 feet for the Cascades, 2 to 4 feet for Idaho, 1 to 2 feet for much of Montana. Colorado might get a foot of snow. Utah might get a foot of snow, but I don't know how far south this will go. Because some models are hinting up here, some models are hinting the atmosphere could be down south way more. But overall, it's very good to see as the water season officially begins at the end of this month. This is where you guys get most of your precip. So now we'll take a look at one more model one before we end this video. We'll take a look at the the Canadian model. Canadian model I like a lot too. So let's see what Canadian model looks like. A lot of rainfall, heavy rainfall for Washington and Oregon. It weakens, but it still shows. Still shows them. This was a little different this time. Last night when I tried recording, it was a lot weaker. But this shows like an actual storm system impacting California with some nice snowfall. Heavy rainfall continues to post in heavy snowfall from Idaho, Montana, even Salt Lake City, much Utah, Colorado will get some snow. But since it's going to take a southern track, you can see out ahead of it, you can bring some warm air. We might get some severe weather next weekend. And it'll continue to produce some heavy rainfall at least. But before that, look at the next one. Next weekend, another wave of storm system will impact the west coast. This one's also a little bit more south. Definitely a different thing from last night. I'll show you guys what the last night model one was hinting at. This was, I'll show you guys 12C. Look at that. Completely different. More of a north. So both the Canadian model and the GFS are coming together, showing that you might get a nice substantial rainfall and snow for the Sierra Nevadas and much of California, which is good to know. This will be very beneficial. But this is a little out. So for now, let's see how much precip we're expecting in the next 10 days. Look at that, beneficial rainfall, 3 to 5 inches of rainfall from all the way from San Francisco all the way up to Seattle, Washington, British Columbia. And let's look at some total snowfall as well. As you can see, 3 to 5 feet for the Sierra Nevadas, 2 to 4 feet for the Cascades, 2 to 3 feet for Idaho, 1 to 2 feet for Montana, even a foot of snow for Colorado and Utah and Wyoming, even some snow for Arizona and Mexico. So this is a good thing. Models are hinting coming together for a major rainfall and snowstorm for California. Atmospheric river looks pretty active. So guys, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. This video we could post in about 90 minutes. So I'll catch you guys for another video. Enjoy the rest of the day, everybody. Goodbye.